Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Janis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I am Francisco Segundolo, and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Game to Love Tennis podcast. Welcome back to any of you who were watching this morning for the Pliskova-Andreescu match. We are here in Halle this time for the match between Nick Kyrgios and Stefanos Tsitsipas. We have Stefanos Tsitsipas, who's just started us off with the serving at 15-love. So it's a really exciting prospect, this match. They head-to-head, they've split their matches one apiece. So I guess before we get straight into this match, if you've got any predictions, now's the time to let me know. So thanks to everybody for joining me on this stream. Don't forget to whack the like button if you haven't already and to subscribe to the channel. So Tsitsipas off to a good start here, 30-love. So it's sort of late afternoon here, and the shadow on the court in Halle is pretty bad. I'd forgotten sort of how bad the shadow is here on the court. It's just, it's really hard to see the ball, to be honest. But we should be in for a good match today. Stefanos Tsitsipas, Nick Kyrgios should be maybe quite a bit of drama, you would think, with Nick Kyrgios. Tsitsipas, of course, we know was a much better player, but grass isn't his favorite surface, so we'll see how he fares. He's up to a good start in this game, though. He's up 40-love. Oh, we have Kyrgios in 2 here from Carlton. And Tsitsipas in 3. Yeah, this match, it feels like it could sort of go either way. I think it, depends on which Kyrgios shows up. But Tsitsipas here at 40-love. But it is a double fault for Tsitsipas. So it's 40-15. Kyrgios is the better grass plays as 3 sets in his favor. Yeah, you would have to probably give Kyrgios the edge on grass. Tsitsipas, of course, we know his game is so well suited to the clay, but he's not as big a fan of this surface. Hasn't really done very much at Wimbledon. But it's a good game, good hold for Stefanos Tsitsipas there, 40-15, hold to 15. So he is on the board, and I think we'll get the Tsitsipas button out. So Tsitsipas on the board here, 1 game to love. Nick Kyrgios will now serve. Colin says Tsitsipas struggled at times against Bonzi. Kyrgios is a harder opponent. Yeah, I think he dropped a set against Bonzi, the Frenchman. So, yeah, it's sort of unexpected, really. I think it was quite one-sided set that he dropped. I think it was 6-1, something like that. Ended up winning in 3. But, yeah, he did struggle. So Kyrgios will be a lot more difficult for Tsitsipas today. So the first serve from Kyrgios is out. It will be a second serve. Kyrgios, of course, with that massive serve of his. It's a good second serve. And the return of serve from Tsitsipas is wide. 30-love. Yes, we know St. Nick is a big-time tanker. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the tank in the matches. It seemed like he'd sort of tanked in that match against Andy Murray the other day. Andy Murray was outplaying him. And in the end, he had a game penalty against Kyrgios. Yeah, hopefully tanking Nick won't show up today. We have a prediction here from MQR. Tsitsipas in 2. That's another good first serve from Kyrgios. And he gets the put away. The response from Tsitsipas was in, but Kyrgios with an easy put away there. And it is a very quick game to love for Nick Kyrgios in no time at all. So good start from Kyrgios there on his serve. we have a prediction here from JC. Hi, everyone. Kyrgios in 3 tight sets. That would be good. I'd love to see a good 3-setter. We had a great 3-setter this morning that I commented on for Andreescu versus Pliskova. That was really good. Final set tiebreak there. So hopefully this one will go a similar way. So we've got Tsitsipas now serving 1 game all. And the second serve is good. There's a forehand from Kyrgios, forehand cross-court from Tsitsipas. Kyrgios gets the dig out. It's a looping back forehand, and it's a backhand from Tsitsipas cross-court. Kyrgios gets to it, and the ball is long. It is 15-love to Tsitsipas. So in case you hadn't caught up on all the action that has been going on in Halle today, we first up had Daniil Medvedev defeating David Goffin in straight sets, and then we had Hubert Hurkacz defeating Ugo Humbert, also in straight sets. And Carreño Busta defeating Sebi Korda in 3. So this is the penultimate match here in Halle. There will be McDonald and Auger Aliassime to follow this one. And it is 30-love on the Tsitsipas serve, going well in favour of the servers currently. Can't say if it goes 3, it might favour Stefanos. Yeah, I think I would have to agree with that, actually, if it does go to a 3rd set. Yeah, Tsitsipas. He's a better closer, I think, than Kyrgios. But we are 30-love here on the serve of Tsitsipas. First serve was fault. We have a second serve, and the backhand return from Kyrgios is into the net, and it is 40-love. These service games are going quite quickly. This could be a second game to love. So Tsitsipas here serving at 40-love. Oh, it's a great serve down the tee from Tsitsipas, and Kyrgios can't get the ball over the net. It is another game to love, this time for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So a quick match at the moment, just 6 minutes for the first 3 games. All gone the way of the servers, pretty straightforwardly on serve for both of these men. Oh, Carlton here saying Nick should play mixed doubles with Ostapenko. That would be a sight to behold, I believe. I don't know if you've all seen Ostapenko's recent on-court interview after her match with against Rebecca Marino. Very, very honest, saying how badly she thought her opponent was playing. It's crazy. Give it a watch. It's on Twitter, been doing the rounds. Yeah, Nick and Ostapenko would be a terrible doubles team, let's be honest. But we have got Tsitsipas here, slightly ahead, 2 games to 1. These men have both split their previous meetings, so 1-1 in their head-to-head. We've got a stat here on the screen saying that Nick Kyrgios is actually 3rd in the list of active players who have the most top 10 wins without actually ever being in the top 10 themselves. Feliciano Lopez leading that, but Nick Kyrgios is 3rd. So, of course, we know how good Kyrgios' level is when he plays well. It's just whether he decides to actually show up or not. So aside from Halle, we've also got an ATP 500 going on in Queens, in London. We first saw Davidovich Fokina defeat Alex de Minaur in 3 sets. And we now have Van der Zandschulp and Dimitrov going, they're just starting off their match, and Shapovalov and Paul are just continuing their match from last night that was suspended because of darkness. And there's a good first serve from Kyrgios, so it is 15-love. First serve into the net from Kyrgios, there will be a second serve. Yeah, grass, of course, always a slight danger with the grass being slippery. We've seen a couple of slips in Berlin, I've noticed. And a few here in Halle as well. So I think one of the only times I want Tsitsipas to win. I think I will be rooting for Tsitsipas in this. I do like Tsitsipas. I think he's a great player. I just think he needs to figure out grass. And it's a nice wrong footing of Tsitsipas there from Kyrgios, so it is 30-15. That encore interview from Ostapenko was so disrespectful and almost delusional. Yeah, I didn't agree with the Twitter sort of praising her for that. A lot of people saying, well, it's a breath of fresh air that she's being so honest. But I thought it was I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was disrespectful to Marino as well. I mean, it seems funny when you watch it, but you wouldn't like to be the person on the receiving end of that. Oh, and we have a shank from Stefanos Tsitsipas. So it is 40-15. Again, going quite easily on serve for both men. 40-15 for Nick Kyrgios. Goes to the big serve down the tee, but it's wide, so it will be a second serve. And it's a big second serve as well. Tsitsipas gets the block return, and it's forehand cross-court from Kyrgios. Kyrgios with a backhand slice, just clearing the net, and Tsitsipas can't respond. And so it is a game to Nick Kyrgios. I think we should get the Kyrgios button out as well, since I did play the Tsitsipas one earlier when he got his first game.
When I step out on the court getting furious, all the people come to see me cause they're curious. You'll be eating up these aces, I'm victorious. Don't be questioning my mind, it's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios.
So we have Tsitsipas serving at 2 games apiece, 15-love. That's a good first serve from Tsitsipas, and the block return from Kyrgios is good. Cross-court backhand to cross-court backhand. Then we have a forehand from Kyrgios, that lovely one-handed backhand from Tsitsipas there, and the shot from Kyrgios is into the net. It is 30-love. Aside from the men's tournaments, we've also got 2 women's tournaments. I mentioned I'd commentated earlier on Pliskova-Andreescu, with Pliskova coming through that in a deciding set tiebreak. We then had Coco Gauff coming through her match against Ann Lee, and Kasatkina coming through hers against Alexandrova. We have Sasnovich and Petkovic currently playing their round of 16 match. Petkovic, the one who took out Muguruza yesterday. But it is 40-love for Stefanos Tsitsipas. And we may have another game to love here. It's very much favouring the serve. Yes, as Carlton says, it's much as a serving competition. Absolutely. It's completely going with the serve. And, looked like it was going to be a game to love from Tsitsipas, but no, the forehand was a little wild and it went wide. Hi again, Alex. Thanks for joining me again. It's great to see you all. Please remember to give the video a like and a subscribe to the channel as well. So 40-15 for Stefanos Tsitsipas. First serve is long. It'll be a second serve. We have MQR. Let's go, Stefanos. We have some Stefanos fans in. And second serve is good. It's a forehand return from Kyrgios. Forehand from Tsitsipas is very good. Nice angle there. And it is 40-15 to a game. And it is 3 games to 2. So we will go for the sit down now. 3 games to 2. Very much going on serve. So apart from the other tournaments I talked about, we have Halle, Queens and Berlin. We've also got Birmingham going on. We've had Kirstea coming through against Krunic in her match. We had Camila Giorgi beating Martinsova and Zhang Shuai beating Fett as well. We've got Katie Bolter and Caroline Garcia currently playing, with Katie Bolter taking that first set. So there's loads of matches to be going on. You can take your pick of matches, really. Was hoping to cover the Sakari-Saville match later today, but that may clash with this one. It depends how Sasnovich and Petkovic get on. We've got one match in Halle after this one. It will be McDonald versus Auger Aliassime. Alex saying the Russian players allowed to set foot in Britain. Oh yeah, don't get me started. Yeah, so we have got the Russian players. not allowed to play the warm-up tournaments. The LTA has barred them from from competing Russian and Belarusian players, as well as, of course, Wimbledon. And then we had the US Open announcing either yesterday or today that they won't be following suit with Wimbledon. They will allow individual Russian and Belarusian players to compete. So yeah, we have quick games, very quick on the serve, very much favouring the serve. It's a big serving game. And yeah, the Nick's second serve is always formidable because he's not afraid to go for a second serve. He'll often hit just the 2 first serves. But here, the first point on the Kyrgios serve does go to Tsitsipas this time. Kyrgios tries to go for the volley from a down-the-line shot with Tsitsipas, and it hits the net. And the first serve here also goes wide from Kyrgios, so it will be a second serve. And the back and return from Tsitsipas is good. Nick comes to the net for the volley, for the serve and volley, and he puts Tsitsipas's ball away, and it is 15-all. Saying well done to the US Open. Yeah, I have to admit, I don't think I agree with Wimbledon's decision to ban individual Russian and Belarusian players. Of course, I completely agree with not letting them compete under their flag. But individual athletes, yeah, I think that was a little unfair. So I agree with you. Well done to the US Open for that. So we have one of a rare extended rally in this match so far. Oh, it's Tsitsipas comes to the net, but the point goes in favor of Nick Kyrgios. Kyrgios is shouting to himself. It looks like he's not happy with it, even though he came through that point. There's a half volley from Nick Kyrgios, and Tsitsipas almost got to it. And the half volley came from a sort of a mishit from Tsitsipas, but that did clear the net. And the point goes the way of Kyrgios. And then he wags a finger in the air because, of course, it's Kyrgios. 30-15. First serve, though, is wide. Second serve, Nick Kyrgios. As it goes for a big serve down the tee. Yeah, there you go. There's a second serve of Nick Kyrgios. And Tsitsipas can't get the ball over the net. It is 40-15. First serve from Kyrgios. It's a huge first serve from Kyrgios down the tee, and it is the game to Kyrgios. So we have 3 games apiece. Pacey match this. 17 minutes on the clock and already 6 games played. So if I look around at the scores going on elsewhere, we have Dimitrov and Van de Zandschulp. They're on serve in their match so far. Shapovalov and Paul in a deciding set. We've also got Sasnovich and Petkovic. They are also on serve. So we have Tsitsipas now serving at 3 games all. Oh, it's a lovely serve from Tsitsipas. The swinging serve out wide. And Kyrgios is not happy about something. I think he's convinced that the ball was wide, and Hawkeye is showing that it just caught the edge of the line, like it's about a millimeter in. Yeah, Kyrgios wasn't happy about that, but the ball was in, just. It was an excellent serve. And so it is now 30-love, and already Kyrgios has started his swearing. Yeah, on cue. Has Nick thrown any fits yet? Not quite a fit, but he has started cursing and sort of shouting to himself. He wasn't happy. And yeah, now he's sarcastic thumbs up. He's starting. Yeah, Kyrgios is starting. But it is 40-love. He's still muttering something. I can't quite make out what he's unhappy about. But there's a good first serve from Tsitsipas. We have a forehand. Oh, it's a caressed forehand down the line. It was completely took the pace off it, and he got a great depth on that from Kyrgios. So it is 40-15. So 40-15, Tsitsipas serving. And the serve is lovely serve down the tee, and it is the game for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So it is 4-3. Nick Kyrgios, again, still muttering away to himself and not entirely sure what he's that unhappy about because the serve was in. But it is 4-3 as we sit down at the change of ends. And while we are at the change of ends, I'm going to play an ad for you. A new partnership with APEAK. It's a tennis app, and I think you'll really like it. You can get a free trial, and here's the ad to tell you all about it.
Isn't it frustrating when you play great in practice but play poorly during competition? Performing well during competition requires your ability to remain present, focused, believe in yourself when things are going against you, manage expectations in a way that allows you to play freely, and always be ready to embrace challenges as opportunities for improvement. APEAK Tennis is led by a legendary and world-renowned performance psychologist, Dr. Jim Layer, who helped 17 athletes become world number ones, including Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi, Jim Courier, Monica Seles, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. At APEAK, their mission is to make mental training accessible and affordable so that everyone can receive world-class mental training anytime and anywhere. Now, for less than $6 a month, billed annually, you can start winning more matches and enjoy the game in the process. Best of all, APEAK is a freemium app. That means you will have access to everything for 7 days without putting credit card information. You can purchase the app if you like it, or even if you do not purchase the app, you will still have full access to the resources section where you will receive weekly mental training lessons. APEAK Tennis is already used by so many top US college teams and top players. The official mental training of Intercollegiate Tennis Association and United States Professional Tennis Association. With APEAK Tennis, it does give you the competitive advantage.
So we have Nick Kyrgios now serving at 3-4, and he's just served an ace. Question from Carlton: is he going to get a verbal obscenity warning? I don't actually think he did. I didn't hear the umpire give any warning, which he should have had one. I agree. Give Nick a warning already, umpire, for the swearing. I don't believe he has been given one, but let's see. There's still plenty of time left in this match. We have a lovely slice from Tsitsipas and a forehand cross-court from Kyrgios, then the backhand from Tsitsipas. Then with forehand to forehand, Tsitsipas with that one-handed backhand down the middle of the court. And the forehand from Kyrgios looked like it was long, but I believe it's been called in. Yeah, and the shot from Tsitsipas, I believe that was a shank, and it goes long. It is 30-love. So 30-love to Nick Kyrgios. We have the first serve into the net. It will be a second serve. Again, this match still heavily favouring the server. No real break opportunities at all. And that's a wild turn of serve from Tsitsipas. It is 40-love. Neither player can really get much rhythm on the other's serve. Here we are, 40-love for Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios did a sort of a fake of the underarm serve, but didn't go through with it. We've got the crowd laughing, and now he's going for the first serve was into the net, so it's a second serve, but the second serve return is into the net from Tsitsipas. So it is the game to Nick Kyrgios, and it's a game to love. So we are at 4 games apiece. Hi, Lexi. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to everybody who was there this morning with me for the Andreescu Pliskova match, or welcome to anybody else who is new joining. Please don't forget to give the like button a whack and to follow us here on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So Nick Kyrgios not entirely happy. He's been having some words, shouting, swearing, a few sarcastic thumbs up, but it's a good forehand down the middle from Tsitsipas there. 15-love. interesting comment here from Capricorn. So, yeah, we know there's 0 openly gay or bi ATP players, which I've talked about before. That I think it's a problem because the amount of players on tour and with no players openly gay, I think there's an issue in tennis for sure, and think more things need to be done. But yeah, I honestly never thought about Nick in that way. It's a big call, like you said, but he needs something to calm him down, doesn't he? He needs to, I don't know, he needs to sort out his attitude on the court, I think. I mean, he gave away a game penalty in his match against Andy Murray. We are at, Tsitsipas with a huge overhead. He jumps into the air and thwacks the ball. It's huge overhead for him. And it is 40 love. What a way to finish a point there from Tsitsipas. First serve, though, is out from Tsitsipas, so it will be a second serve for Nick Kyrgios. Again, nowhere near coming close to a break point on either of these guys' serves. Second serve is good. It's a forehand return from Tsitsipas. Steph comes into the net for the serve and volley, and the lob is out from Kyrgios. So it is another game to love, this time for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas has only dropped 3 points on serve in this opening set. And I think that warrants a Tsitsipas button. 5 games to 4, he is a game away from taking this first set. So, question from Lexi: who am I predicting to win this match? I'd probably give Tsitsipas the edge, but I think it's going to be a really tight one. I mean, well, we've seen it so far. I mean, there's no break points. It's going on the servers. It's very much favouring the server, but I think I will give Tsitsipas the edge on this one. I know he's been struggling a little bit on the grass, but I don't know. I feel like I can see in him he's determined to win this one. I don't think he wants to let Nick Kyrgios get the best of him today. So we are at 5 games to 4. It's a beautiful day here in Halle. The sun is shining. It's a pretty decent crowd in. And we've got one match left after this one. It will be McDonald versus Auger-Aliassime. Capricorn saying Tsitsipas should be much better on grass than he currently is. I agree. I mean, we know his game is not optimized for grass. He loves the clay, of course, but I don't quite understand why he hasn't done that well on the grass. I mean, of course, it's not his strongest surface, but he should be doing a little better, I think. We have a big forehand from Kyrgios here, and he comes into the net, but there was no point because his ball hit the net. So it is love 15, and this time the first point on the serve goes to Tsitsipas. Oh, it's a big first serve from Nick Kyrgios, though, and it is 15 all. Tsitsipas really needs to try and get into this service game of Kyrgios here and try and take the set. First serve was out from Nick Kyrgios. Will be a second serve. Let's see if Tsitsipas can capitalize on that. That's a double fault from Nick Kyrgios, and he's not happy with that. But it is 15-30, so here's a half chance for Tsitsipas on the serve of Nick Kyrgios. And he's going for a big first and second serves, Nick Kyrgios here. And he's muttering again to himself about something. I think he's talking to the umpire. I'm trying to listen to see what he's talking about, but I honestly don't know what he's unhappy about. he'll go for the serve anyway at 15-30. And Tsitsipas gets the return back in play, but then it's a big forehand from Kyrgios. And I don't think that ball from Tsitsipas is in. No, it's gone out. So it's 30 all. Still a little bit of a half chance for Tsitsipas. So here we go. Nick Kyrgios under a little bit of pressure, 30 all, serving to stay in this first set. And the second serve is good. This chip return from Tsitsipas and the forehand from Nick Kyrgios is wide. And all of a sudden, we have our first break point of the match. And that does mean it is a set point. And Nick Kyrgios is furious. He is shouting again. But we have a point here for Tsitsipas to steal the set away from Nick Kyrgios. That's a good first serve, but again, the chip return from Tsitsipas is in. We have a forehand down the line from Kyrgios and forehand from Tsitsipas. Now we're going backhand to backhand. Oh, but the backhand from Tsitsipas goes long, and he's frustrated about that. And once again, Nick Kyrgios is yelling about something. I don't know what, because he won the point, but we are at deuce. Nick Kyrgios saves the set point. So Tsitsipas can't believe he's hit that ball long. That was a real chance for the Greek there. But still at deuce, so he does have more. Well, this is as close as he's been to taking the break from Kyrgios. And the first serve there is out. Let's see if Kyrgios will go for a big second serve here. The serve is good. Backhand chip return from Tsitsipas is in, and we are now forehand to forehand. It's a backhand cross court from Nick Kyrgios, a backhand from Tsitsipas, a backhand from Kyrgios. Now he goes, oh, but the forehand there from Kyrgios has been overcooked. It's gone long, and it is once again a set point to Tsitsipas. And Nick Kyrgios is getting very angry now. Interesting. Let's go, Stefanos. Yeah, let's see if he can get this point here now. This is as good a chance as he's going to get on the serve of Kyrgios. So a second set point for the Greek. I wonder how big Kyrgios is going to go on his serve here. First serve is out, so it is a second serve. Tsitsipas will definitely want to get this one back in play. And he does. It's a backhand return, and the forehand from Kyrgios, a backhand from Tsitsipas, forehand cross-court from Kyrgios. Tsitsipas loops the backhand, and again, he's made the same mistake as before. He gets himself into the rally after the serve of Kyrgios, but then there's a loose backhand long, flies past the baseline, just like it did a couple of points ago, and we're back at deuce once again. So deuce here. It's the most pressure Nick Kyrgios has been on his serve. Okay, first serve from Kyrgios. Oh, it's a good first serve. And again, chip return from Tsitsipas is good. And Kyrgios is coming in to take the overhead, and he gets the smash away. And it is advantage to Kyrgios. So 2 set points have been saved, and now Kyrgios has a game point of his own. Thanks very much, Lexi. I love you guys too. It's great. I've done a few streams here now. I think about seventh or so, something like that. Yeah, JC, seeing it's your first time seeing me here, so I hope you're enjoying the commentary. I'm doing 3 matches today, actually. Well, if the Sakari Saville match doesn't overlap with this one, I did one earlier today. I'm going to be doing a lot more, hopefully. Finishing up my PhD soon. So as soon as that is submitted, I'm going to have all the free time in the world to commentate on matches for you guys. And thanks for loving my accent as well. It's a Welsh accent, in case you didn't know. So we are back at deuce once again. This is the longest game by far of the match so far. With so many games to love. But here, Nick Kyrgios is facing a lot of pressure on his serve. We've had a few deuces. He saved 2 set points. Big first serve. And the backhand return is in from Tsitsipas. We've got a big forehand cross-court from Kyrgios. And, but the backhand from him is... it just clipped the top of the net. I thought it had hit the net, but it actually dribbled over. That's really unlucky for Stefanos Tsitsipas there. That's cruel. It is advantage to Kyrgios. And a first serve fault from Kyrgios. And he wants to see a replay of this. Of course, we have the automatic Hawkeye system here, so there are no line judges, but he wants to have a look at it. It's long and wide, so I don't know why he wanted to look at that there. It will be a second serve. Backhand return from Tsitsipas is wide, so Nick Kyrgios does close out the game. He saves 2 set points, and he is still going in this first set.
When I step out on the court getting furious, all the people come to see me cause they're curious. You'll be eating up these aces, I'm victorious. Don't be questioning my mind, it's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios.
So after having 2 set points but not being able to convert any of them, we now have Tsitsipas serving at 5 games all. It's a good first serve from Tsitsipas, and then he goes with the wide forehand, which is great angle on that, and it's 15-love. Sean saying Tsitsipas does have some Federer elements. Maybe he can be good on grass if the backhand can improve. He does. There are some things. I think most notably is that one-handed backhand. But Tsitsipas does have a little Federer-esque quality to him at times. Of course, the surface is a little different. Federer loving the grass, and Tsitsipas not quite liking it so much. He's more of a clay courter. But I do see the similarities with him and Federer. And Kyrgios, again, is not happy about some of these calls, but it is automatic Hawkeye calling them. First serve from Tsitsipas is brilliant down the tee. It's an ace, and it's 40-love. Just what Tsitsipas will need after that extended game in the previous one. Oftentimes, if you have sort of break points and you don't convert them, you struggle on your serve in the next game. So this game at 40-love is very good for Tsitsipas. He'll try and get a game to love here. First serve is into the net, though. It will be a second serve. But at 40-love, he shouldn't be too worried. Second serve is good. A backhand return from Kyrgios. Then a backhand slice from Tsitsipas into the net. So it is 40-15. Capricorn literally dancing in my chair to the Nick button. Yeah, some of these buttons, it's especially... the Ons Jabeur button is my favorite. I always have a little dance in my chair whenever that's on. It's been stuck in my head ever since I heard it. And the Kasatkina button as well. I've been singing that today. Damn Ben and his buttons. They're stuck in my head permanently. So the first serve from Tsitsipas clips the net. So we will have a second serve because it was pushed wide. Oh, it's a double fault from Tsitsipas. He went for the big serve down the tee, but was going for the second serve ace, I think. But it is 40-30 now. So what was 40-love? Getting a bit more complicated. Crowd starting to get involved. 40-30. It's a good first serve from Tsitsipas, and the return from Kyrgios goes along, and again he is shouting, not happy about it, but Tsitsipas pulls ahead in this first set. It is 6-5, and Kyrgios will now serve to try and take this set into a tiebreak. Cotton saying you're thinking Nick would have the advantage in a tiebreak, but now thinking Tsitsipas with serve performance so far. Yeah, they're both having a great time on serve, apart from that last game on Nick Kyrgios' serve, where Tsitsipas really got into it. So I think Tsitsipas would probably have the edge. Again, it's hard to know which way this one is going to go. Just the one service game where there's been break points. And it's a very fast match, especially for a 6-5 game. So while we are at the change of ends, I will take you around to the other tournaments that are going on. So we have Queens, Van der Zandschulp and Dimitrov. Dimitrov is up a break in that match in the first set. Then we have Tommy Paul versus Denis Shapovalov. Also at Queens, Tommy Paul is currently serving for that match. We also have Berlin going on, the WTA 500. We have Sasnovich and Petkovic. Sasnovich is serving for that first set. And over in Birmingham, Katie Bolter has just beaten Caroline Garcia. It's a great win for the young Brit. And it will be Dart versus Halep next, which should be a good match. This is the penultimate match here in Halle for today. We will have Mackenzie McDonald versus Felix Auger-Aliassime seem to follow this one. But now we will have Nick Kyrgios serving at 5-6 to stay in this first set and to try to take us into a tiebreak. Everyone's saying if Dimitrov loses his match, he'll sue. Yeah, Dimitrov obviously coming through that good match against Cam Norrie. That was a tough first round for him, but he came through that one in 3 sets. He is at upper break versus Van der Zandschulp. So, oh no, I believe Van der Zandschulp was actually just broken back, so they are on serve over there. But we are now having Nick Kyrgios serving to stay in this set, and there is a wild forehand from Kyrgios that goes wide, and it's love 15. So again, the first point on the serve goes to Tsitsipas. So here we go, Nick Kyrgios with the first serve. It's a fault. I was going to say it's a great serve, but it was just long. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps people find our podcast and helps us to grow. And Kyrgios with a big forehand cross court there, but Tsitsipas gets it back in play. Kyrgios goes to the drop shot, but Tsitsipas is there, hits the ball down the line, and Kyrgios's forehand goes long. It's smart play there from Tsitsipas. And it is love 30, so definitely a chance here now for Tsitsipas to close this set out on the serve of Nick Kyrgios to avoid the tiebreak. Kyrgios is playing very fast between points. First serve is good there. Chip return forehand from Tsitsipas. We now have a forehand cross court from Kyrgios. We have forehand to forehand. Now as the backhand of Tsitsipas goes down the middle of the court, and Kyrgios goes to the forehand cross court, but it's into the net. And Tsitsipas suddenly has 3 set points. It is love 40. And the crowd are getting involved in this now. 3 set points for Stefanos Tsitsipas. Kyrgios is muttering away to himself. It's a big first serve. Oh, it's a shank return from Tsitsipas, but it's in. Kyrgios takes it out of the air on the volley. And he saves the one. It is 40-15. Still 2 set points for the Greek. Let's see how big he'll go for the serve. Oh, a big serve down the tee. It's an ace for Kyrgios, and he saves another set point. He saved 4 set points now. This is a 5th set point for Stefanos Tsitsipas in this set. 30-40. First serve is into the net, so we will have a second serve to look at Tsitsipas. He'll want to take this chance. He'll need to get this serve back in play. And he gets the backhand return away, and it's a backhand cross court from Kyrgios. Backhand slice from Tsitsipas. Kyrgios comes in with the forehand. Oh, and it just finds the line from Kyrgios. So Tsitsipas' ball is into the net, and he's saved 5 set points now, Nick Kyrgios. It's back at juice, from love 40 to juice. Some good serving from Kyrgios here. I agree with you. Yeah, I am a fan of both Van der Zandschulp as well, but Dimitrov does have that beautiful grass court game. Again, something a little bit Federer-like with him, especially with that one-handed backhand. But Dimitrov, yeah, does love the grass. But it's a lovely backhand there from Tsitsipas, and he has a 6th set point. It is advantage to the Greek. Nick Kyrgios here with the first serve into the net. Colton saying surely he's breaking a racket if he loses the set here. I would not be surprised if he does. He has second serve to look at here. Tsitsipas with the backhand returning. Kyrgios goes to the drop shot and it hits the net, and the set belongs to Stefanos Tsitsipas. And to be honest, oh, here we go. The racket smash is happening. That prediction was indeed correct. Nick Kyrgios whacks his racket against the wall. He's furious with himself. But Tsitsipas deserved that set because I think he was the better player in that set. Yeah, that racket is destroyed from Nick Kyrgios. But it is 7-5. The set belongs to Stefanos Tsitsipas. Well, we've seen a bit of everything from Kyrgios in this game, this match so far. He's just destroyed his racket, but Tsitsipas should be really happy with himself for that because, yeah, he deserved that set, I think. He's taken it 7-5, and that's a really good grass court performance from Stefanos Tsitsipas. You know, he was very strong on serve, and then he took his opportunities when he got them. So it's a great win, great first set from Tsitsipas there. I'm hoping. I know Kyrgios was audibly swearing earlier and didn't get a warning from the umpire, but I haven't heard a warning, but presumably he would be getting one there for that racket smash. But it is one set in the bag for Stefanos Tsitsipas. He is a set away from the next round. Here in Halle, we earlier saw Daniil Medvedev coming through against Goffin and Hurkacz beating Humbert, and we also had Carreño Busta beating Korda. We've got McDonald and Auger Aliassime to follow this match. This is the penultimate match here in Halle today. But yes, a great set of tennis from Tsitsipas. It's probably one of the best sets of grass court tennis I've seen Tsitsipas play. Kyrgios was serving very well. It was just the one game, well, two really in the end, that he was getting to juice with. But yeah, Tsitsipas taking the opportunities. And another update for you from Queens. We've just had Denis Shapovalov losing his match against Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul winning in 3. That match had been carried over from yesterday after it was disrupted due to darkness, and Shapovalov is now out. So there's another seed out of Queens. But here we are, Tsitsipas serving to start the second set. And there's a forehand into the net from Nick Kyrgios. Pretty much the bottom of the net, to be honest. And it is 15-love. And Kyrgios talking to himself yet again. Yeah, Shapovalov, he's not had great results this season, losing in the first round of Roland Garros, and yeah, he's really not done much. He's going to lose a lot of ranking points, and he, especially with Wimbledon not having ranking points because he did very well last year's Wimbledon, so he won't have those points to defend, so his ranking is going to drop considerably. But we are at 15-all here. It's a good forehand return of serve from Nick Kyrgios, which is a clean winner. 15-all. So Tsitsipas here serving to get us away in the second set. Oh, it's an ace from Tsitsipas. It's a great serve down the tee from him. He's serving very well in this match. So here we go. Tsitsipas serving at 30-15. Oh, it's again a great serve down the tee, but the return from Kyrgios is in. We now have a backhand cross court to a backhand cross court. It's a looping backhand from Tsitsipas, though, that goes long. So it's 30-all. Maybe a half chance on the serve of Tsitsipas. Kyrgios really hasn't had any chances on Tsitsipas' serve so far in this match. Does Nick blame the crowd, the umpire, the line calling, or all of the above? I would probably go with all of the above if he loses. He seems to be complaining about everything, and he's shouting again. But it was a good shot from Tsitsipas, 40-30. So hi to everybody who is just joining, or anybody who has been with us for the whole match. Anyone who was with me this morning for the women's match, Andreescu versus Pliskova, welcome back. Please don't forget to hit the like button, or give it a whack, as Ben would say, and to subscribe to our channel. So Tsitsipas here is serving at 40-30. It's a good first serve, and then he follows it up with a good forehand. Now we have a backhand cross court from Kyrgios, which, it's just caught the line there, and we're at deuce. So a bit of pressure now on the serve of Tsitsipas for probably the first time in this match. And we've just seen a screenshot of the racket of Nick Kyrgios that he demolished at the end of that first set. And yeah, it's pretty much broken in half. Tsitsipas in a little bit of trouble on his serve, serving at deuce. First serve is out. Still have a second serve from Tsitsipas. I wonder if Kyrgios can capitalize on that. It's a good second serve, and the forehand from Kyrgios is in. Oh, and the forehand from Tsitsipas is long. It's a little bit careless from Tsitsipas there, and all of a sudden, Kyrgios carves out his first break point of the match. So it is advantage Nick Kyrgios, his first break point, after a bit of a loose shot there from Tsitsipas. Let's see if Tsitsipas can get a good first serve in here. Oh, he does, and the chip return from Kyrgios goes well long, and Tsitsipas saves a break point. It's a good body serve there from him, and we're at deuce once again. Tsitsipas here serving at deuce, and they serve. He's serving down the tee a lot. I've noticed in this match. That one didn't work. It was long, but it seems to have been working for him in this match. So I think it's a good strategy. Nick manages to get the return back, and Tsitsipas comes into the net for the volley, and it is good. Nick Kyrgios can't get to it. That's a great move into the net there from Tsitsipas, and it is advantage to Tsitsipas. Yep, Tsitsipas there found some space, and yeah, Kyrgios just puts his hands up in the air. Nothing he can do. First serve here, though, from Tsitsipas is into the net. There'll be a second serve, but advantage to the Greek. Second serve here is good. Oh, it's a good forehand return from Kyrgios, though. It's very fast, and Tsitsipas can't get a racket on the ball. Seemed like he was channeling his anger into that return of serve, and we're back at deuce once again. Tsitsipas struggling to close this game out. The most pressure he's faced on serve this whole match. First serve from Tsitsipas is a good serve. The return is in from Kyrgios, and he's coming into the net. And Tsitsipas thinks the ball from Kyrgios was long, but it has been called in, and we're just seeing from Hawkeye now whether that ball was in fact in. But of course, it's Hawkeye. Oh, that looks long. That must have caught like 0.5 millimeter of the line from Kyrgios. So it is advantage Kyrgios as a break point for the Aussie. The crowd are getting into this. Tsitsipas facing his second break point. Oh, but it's a good forehand from Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas is into the net, and with the volley, he gets it done. And he saves another break point. We're back at deuce. Tsitsipas's net play has been good in this match. Has caught Nick out a couple of times. So Tsitsipas goes to the serve down the tee again, but it is wide. So we'll go for a second serve. It's good. It's a back and return from Kyrgios. Forehand from Tsitsipas is into the net. And it is another break point. It's a third break point in this game. It is advantage to Kyrgios. These past few games have been tough on serve, with the first games up until about 5-4 in the first set were easy on serve. They were rolling through their service games, but now we've seen a couple of deuce games in the last 2 or 3. Tsitsipas facing a third break point in this game. Oh, again, goes to the big one down the tee, but it's just wide. A second serve for Nick to look at. Oh, it's a good second serve. The return is in from Kyrgios, though. And we're now forehand to forehand cross court. Oh, it's a good forehand from Tsitsipas. That was a brave second serve from Tsitsipas. And Nick Kyrgios is furious. He's shouting. He's shouting pretty much what the F is going on. I don't know what is annoying him. I think it might be something in the crowd. The umpires just asked the crowd to... I'm just trying to listen here, but Yeah, I think something in the crowd must have caught Kyrgios's eye, but it was a good play from Tsitsipas and a brave second serve, so he deserved that point, and we're back at deuce. Good first serve from Tsitsipas. It's a return from Kyrgios is in though. Oh, and then it's a big forehand from Kyrgios. It's a huge strike. Gets right into the corner of the court, and it is advantage once again to Nick Kyrgios. He has another break point. I think it's a third or fourth break point we have. Question here: am I a Kyrgios fan? I would have to probably err on the side of no. I don't know. I sort of did kind of like him at one point, but I just think that his attitude on the court and the giving away game penalties and things like that, smashing the rackets, abusing the umpire, it's not my style of tennis. I personally don't think he is particularly great for the sport. So I am rooting for Tsitsipas in this one. Even though his matches can be entertaining, I wouldn't count myself a Kyrgios fan, personally. So much for the non-biased commentator, but... So we are back at deuce. Once again, we are backhand cross court. And as a backhand into the net from Kyrgios, the racket goes flying as if on cue. And it is advantage to Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas here with a point now to get through this lengthy service game. He's faced a number of break points. Nice to see that people agree. Yeah, I always wonder whether it's, I should be sharing my opinions on here. But yeah, that's what, we're here for. We're here to talk about tennis. So, but this game, Tsitsipas can't close it out. We're back at deuce once again. I'm wondering how many warnings Kyrgios has had, because he's probably not that far off from a point penalty. He's had a number of audible obscenities, and he has broken a racket. He's thrown a racket. Oh, but now Tsitsipas has had a time violation warning. Wow. And the serve was out. So, of course, if he does get 2 time violation warnings, he will lose a first serve. The second serve is good. Oh, but Tsitsipas comes into the net, and that backhand is long. So it will be another break point for Nick Kyrgios. So Tsitsipas now facing yet another break point. You can see Apostolos, Stefanos' father, in the crowd there trying to give him some encouragement. It's break point number 5 for Nick Kyrgios here. Oh, that first serve is long from Tsitsipas. It will be a second serve, so Nick might try to pounce on this one. Or will Tsitsipas, he's been brave on his second serves, and he was again there, but the backhand return is good from Kyrgios, and we're now backhand to backhand cross court. That lovely one-handed backhand of Tsitsipas, and he now goes down the line. The forehand from Kyrgios is good. Backhand cross court from Tsitsipas, backhand from Kyrgios. Oh, the forehand from Tsitsipas hits the back of the baseline, and still we go on. Oh, but Tsitsipas has missed that forehand, and Kyrgios gets the break. And he roars because he's happy with that. And Tsitsipas really shouldn't have lost that game, but Kyrgios breaks early in this second set. And it is, a break of serve after a really lengthy service game. It's 14 minutes in the second set, but it is a break of serve for the Aussie. And I suppose since it was Kyrgios, we should play the Kyrgios button since he did get the break. Although he is now yelling at the umpire again, so maybe I'll hold off on the button. So Kyrgios here, he's trying to have a conversation with the umpire. He's saying, listen to the things that are going wrong, and trying to figure out what he's meaning by that. He's now asking the umpire, he's saying, so you never swear? Well, not live on television broadcast to millions of people. Yes, Kyrgios, he is not happy in this match. I think he's going to end up getting a game penalty at some point. We have a Kyrgios give us 3 sets, Nick. Kyrgios fan here. Yeah, it is quite an intense game. Like I said, the first 9 games or so went by in a flash. Nobody having any trouble on serve. And now the past few games have been really sort of tight. So Kyrgios here serving up a break in the second set, but the first serve hits the net and is long. So it will be a second serve for Kyrgios, and the return from Tsitsipas is into the net. So it is a 15-love. Tsitsipas sort of bouncing up and down at the back of the court, trying to give himself some energy. But Kyrgios here with a big first serve. Chip return backhand from Tsitsipas is good. We are forehand to forehand through the middle of the court. Oh, it's a good forehand from Tsitsipas, but Kyrgios gets it, and Tsitsipas then goes back the other way with the forehand cross court, and it is 15-all. It's a good shot there from Tsitsipas, opening up the court and then creating the space. So Tsitsipas here took the first set, 7-5, but Kyrgios up an early break in the second set. And there's an ace there from Kyrgios, 30-15. And if you look at the stats on the scoreboard, actually Tsitsipas is out-acing Kyrgios in this match, 6-8. 6 aces for Kyrgios, 8 for Tsitsipas, which is interesting. It's been a good service match from Kyrgios. Oh, it's a good cross-court shot there from Kyrgios, and he loves it. He is yelling. Crowd love it as well, and it is 40-15. Feels like he's channeling some of his anger into these shots now. He ripped that one cross-court. The return of serve then nearly hits Kyrgios, but he ducks away just in time and the ball goes long. So Kyrgios does indeed consolidate the break of serve. Well, that first game of this match with Tsitsipas is broken. I think if Kyrgios does go on to win this in 3, Tsitsipas will be kicking himself there. As Kyrgios does consolidate that break for a 2-love lead in the second set. And Tsitsipas will now serve to get a game on the board for him in the second set. It's a good first serve into the body of Nick Kyrgios, and then comes in for the overhead, does Tsitsipas, and it's a good put away. It is 15-love. Good serving again from Tsitsipas. So we are at 15-love. And again, it's a good serve, and return from Kyrgios is into the net. And again, he's not happy, but the serve was in. Called by the automatic line judging system, and it is 30-love. Thanks for the reminder, MQR. It's, please hit the like button, everyone, and subscribe to the channel. Give the like button a whack, as Ben would say. You can also follow us on Twitter. I do a lot of the tweets for Game to Love podcast. Oh, and here we go. Kyrgios is having a go at the umpire once again. The crowd are booing. I'm not entirely sure what he's unhappy about. Okay, and Kyrgios is now sitting down. It's 30-love to Tsitsipas, but Kyrgios has decided to take a seat, and crowd are booing him. Yeah, Kyrgios he's refusing to play. I presume the supervisor has come to the court having a chat with Kyrgios. Tsitsipas is just hitting some serves there in the background. So I think Kyrgios is... I'm not sure what he's unhappy about. There's something about the towel. He's saying something that, because of COVID, he can't have a ball boy giving him the towel. So it's not his fault if he's got to go get... There you go. Thank you very much for that. Sorry, I was trying to listen there, but he's got a co-violation for not playing to the service speed. So yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying that, because of the new rules now from COVID, where they have to go get their own towel at the back of the court, he's saying, it's not my fault. I've got to go get it. But it's the same for everybody, That's not a valid argument. Personally, I'm very much in favor of this new, going to get your own towels, and not a fan of young ball kids having to catch sweaty towels from players. But yeah, he wasn't playing to the server's pace, so thanks for that. Yeah, he's coming back he's back on the court now. He's ready to resume play. And it's an ace from Tsitsipas. So it's 40-love. He made a little reference to Nadal, did Kyrgios, just saying, Nadal does this all the time, but, he doesn't get a warning from it. But, yeah, no joy there from getting the supervisor on court. It's not going to make any difference. And it's another ace from Tsitsipas. So he does get the game on the board. It is 2-1 with Kyrgios serving still up a break in this set. But a lot of drama. And Nick Kyrgios is still going off at the umpire. He's saying that he's the fastest. He does play fast between his serves, but if you don't play to the server speed, then Tsitsipas did get a warning himself as well, the time violation warning. So it's not like it's just Kyrgios that's been getting these. But again, I'm wondering whether he's going to get a point penalty because he's still going off at the umpire. But yeah, we are at the sit down. Kyrgios is up a break still in this second set, but he lost the first two Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas taking it 7-5. So he seems to be in a bit of a battle with himself as well as Tsitsipas, as Kyrgios, which is often the case in his matches. So while we're at the sit down, if I have a look and see what the scores are like over in Queens, we have Van der Zandschulp and Dimitrov in a first set tiebreak over there. And in Berlin, we have Sasnovich taking the first set against Petkovic. And we have Harriet Dart is up a break on Simona Halep over in Birmingham. Loads of matches to be going on. Love the grass court season. Plenty to choose from. We do now have Nick here serving at 2-1. Up a break in this second set. It's a good first serve, but the return is also... Oh, no, it's just wide from Tsitsipas. So it is 15-love to Kyrgios. Kyrgios here serving into the net. Having a little bit more trouble on serve in the second set than they were in the first. But the return of serve there from Tsitsipas is into the net. Looked like Kyrgios is coming in for the serve and volley there. But it is 30-love to Nick Kyrgios. Yeah, well, it's early in the set. It's just 2-1, but she is down that break early over there. But you never count Halep out, can you? Halep, the second seed over there in Birmingham. And very quickly, this game has become 40-love for Nick Kyrgios. So back to the likes of the first set with a nice, easy first game on serve by the looks of it. Could be a game to love. But the first serve is wide, so it'll be a second serve. And it's a backhand return from Tsitsipas. Forehand from Kyrgios. Backhand cross-court from Tsitsipas is out. And it is a game to love for Nick Kyrgios. And so Kyrgios does indeed consolidate that break of serve. So Tsitsipas will now serve at 1-3. Question here: who do you consider has a better serve, Tsitsipas or Kyrgios? I mean, Kyrgios' first serve. Kyrgios' serve is he has an excellent serve when he's having a good service day, but Tsitsipas is more consistent, I would say. First serve is out here from Tsitsipas, so it'll be a second serve. Exactly, Cotton. Yeah, like Nick's serve is far more unreliable. You don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes he'll hit 2 first serves, kind of thing. Tsitsipas, he's got a good serve, and it's more consistent. Might not have the power of Kyrgios at times, but yeah, more reliable. So we have backhand to backhand cross court, and it's a nice slice from Tsitsipas, and the forehand from Kyrgios into the net. We are 15-love. And over in Queens, Botic van der Zandschulp has just taken that first set on a tiebreak from Grigor Dimitrov. Oh, it's an ace from Stefanos Tsitsipas. It's a lovely serve out wide. 30-love. Nick Kyrgios here will try and get... Oh, it's another ace from Stefanos Tsitsipas. Talking about the serves of both of them, Tsitsipas is having a blinder on a serve in this match. Yeah, he's out acing Kyrgios in this. So, yeah, I'd have to give the edge on serve to Tsitsipas in this one. He's got double the amount of aces as Kyrgios now, which is quite surprising. Oh, but Kyrgios does get a beautiful passing shot there. It's 40-15 now. That was a crazy shot from Kyrgios. Tsitsipas, it's a good forehand, but Kyrgios just takes a swing at it, and yeah, he gets the point, but it's still 40-15. That's a good first serve from Tsitsipas, though, but again, Kyrgios gets a pass off the serve return, and it's 40-30. A little bit more trouble now on the service game of Tsitsipas. What looked like an easy service game is now a little bit more complicated. 40-love to 40-30. That's a good first serve from Tsitsipas. The return is in from Kyrgios, though, and the response from Tsitsipas is long, and now from 40-love, we are at deuce. And the crowd are trying to get, I think, Tsitsipas going. They're clapping, but yeah, it's looked like an easy service game, this one, but now he's dug himself into a bit of a hole. First serve is into the net, so it'll be a second serve as well to look at. And the return is a bit of a miss hit from Kyrgios, but it's in, and we're now going forehand to forehand. Backhand from Tsitsipas is into the net, and Kyrgios has another break point. What a turnaround in this game. We were 40-love to Tsitsipas, and now we're advantage to Kyrgios. So it's a point here for the double break for Nick Kyrgios. So Tsitsipas here serving with a break point against him. So to see where he goes on the first serve. Oh, it's a lovely serve. He goes out wide. I mentioned before he's been serving down the tee a lot in this match, so he caught Kyrgios out there. I think Kyrgios thought he was going to go down the tee again, but an ace out wide there for Tsitsipas saves the break point, and we're at deuce. And it's another ace from Tsitsipas. This time it was down the tee, and it is advantage to Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas has hit 13 aces in this match so far. No, that's the 14th ace now. 14th ace for Tsitsipas. He's having a great day on serve. That first one was into the net, though. Looked like he was coming in for a serve and volley there. And the backhand return from Kyrgios is a bit of a shank, I believe. And Tsitsipas digs himself out of that hole from 40 love up, but facing a break point, he does get the game. It is 2-3 for Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas taking the first set 7-5, but Kyrgios is still up a break here in this second set. So I'll have a look at the other scores going on. We have Van der Zandschulp and Dimitrov. They're just getting underway in that second set, with Van der Zandschulp taking the first on a tiebreak. You'll be pleased to know Halep has gotten that break back and is now on serve over in Birmingham against Harriet Dart. And we have Sasnovich and Petkovic battling it out in Berlin. They are 1 set to Sasnovich and on serve in the second. So it looks like that Sakkari-Saville match, I may be able to cover it a little bit late, but I think it's going to clash with this one, depending on the way that this second set goes. If it does go the way of Kyrgios and we're forced to a third, then we'll see. It might be a bit of a clash, but I'll try to bring you as many matches as I can. So Kyrgios, we're just seeing a replay of him shouting at the supervisor. Wondering when he is going to get a point penalty here. One match to come here in Halle after this one. McDonald versus Auger Aliassime. So we will have Kyrgios serving at 3-2. Oh, we have a prediction here that Sakkari will win Wimbledon. Wow. Sakkari, again, is someone who puzzles me because I'm a big fan of Sakkari. I love her game, but she just can't seem to get through the big matches that really count. So I would be all for Sakkari winning Wimbledon, but I somehow don't see it happening. Tsitsipas, of course, doesn't really have a great record at Wimbledon. Is not a big fan of the grass, but he's having a good day here so far. He is down a break in the second set, but he's been serving really well. Oh, and we've got a lovely little net exchange here from Tsitsipas and Kyrgios eventually puts it away with the volley. It is 30 love. I think this year's Wimbledon, on the women's side at least, is going to be one of the more open Wimbledons we will have seen. Iga, of course, will be the favourite, but grass isn't her favourite surface. So I think there is a chance for somebody to come through. Still not convinced it's going to be Sakkari, though. Although I would be all for it. So we are at 30-15. Kyrgios serving. First serve is long, though. Second serve. We have here. I would have tipped Kasatkina to do well at Wimbledon, but yeah, it's really unfortunate. Kasatkina's having a great season. Made the what did she make? She made the semi-final at Roland Garros. Sorry, semi-final at Roland Garros, and yeah, she won her match today against Alexandrova, who had recently just won a title last week. So Kasatkina, yeah. It's such a shame. And Sabalenka as well, who has been doing pretty well. She did lose a pretty tough match against Kudermetova this week. She was up a set and a break. I believe she was up a set and 5-2 and eventually lost it in 3. But you'd think Sabalenka would also be somebody who would do well at Wimbledon. So it is a shame. So we have Tsitsipas here serving at 2-4. It's 15 love. Thank you very much, JC. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, I'm having a blast with you guys here as well, and nice that you're enjoying a beer. I wish I brought something with me, So it's a good point there from Tsitsipas. He does the serve and volley, comes in, puts the forehand volley away, and it is 30 love. Prediction here that Sakari will lose Wimbledon third round, or maybe fourth. Yeah, that's the thing. Sakari, she's sort of quite consistent in the first week of a slam, or she gets sort of midway through a tournament and then kind of just can't make it happen in the big matches. Obviously, Sakari losing to Emma Raducanu in that US Open, who obviously went on to win the match. And my stream has just decided to pause itself, so give me 1 second while I get it back up. Apologies for that. It's back again. There we go. So we are at 30-15. Stefanos Tsitsipas serving. Sorry for that. First serve is long and wide, I believe, from Tsitsipas. He was coming in for the serve and volley again there. Kyrgios up a break in the second set. Oh, it's a double fault from Tsitsipas. Again with the serve and volley. But it's into the net, and it is 30 all. And again, Kyrgios is getting a luck here on the serve of Stefanos Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas in a bit of trouble on his serve. 30 all. First serve into the net. Chance here for Kyrgios to maybe get this second set almost done and dusted if he can break here. Oh, and it's a wild forehand from Tsitsipas, and he pulls it wide. And it is a break point for Kyrgios to get the double break in this set and to give him the chance to serve for it. Tsitsipas, yeah, went for a little bit too much there on that forehand. Yeah, he's frustrated with himself as well there. Break point, Nick Kyrgios, which you would think is pretty much a set point. 30-40 on the serve of Tsitsipas. And the first serve is long. So we will get a second serve to look at as well. Second serve is good. The forehand return is good from Kyrgios as well. And the backhand from Tsitsipas is out. And Kyrgios gets a second break. It is a double break for Kyrgios. So Kyrgios has the double break in this second set. He will serve the set in a few moments' time. It's 5-2.
When I step out on the court getting furious, all the people come to see me cause they're curious. You'll be eating up these aces, I'm victorious. Don't be questioning my mind, it's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios.
So, hi, Clay. What have I missed, you ask? So, we had Tsitsipas taking the first set 7-5. It was a pretty great showing of serve on that first set. Up until about 5-4, they were rattling through their service games pretty easily until right at the end, Tsitsipas managed to break Kyrgios. But Kyrgios then broke early in the second set, and he's now just broken Tsitsipas once again for the double break. Tsitsipas is having a great day on serve. He's out-acing Kyrgios, hit more than double Kyrgios' aces. But Kyrgios has just managed to take the big points in this second set. Tsitsipas in one game was up 40 love, and Kyrgios managed to take it. So he is going to serve for the second set now. But there has been a lot of drama with Kyrgios. There's a lot of shouting, some racket breaking. I think he's only been given the one... he's been given the code violation for breaking the racket, and he got given a time violation as well for not playing to the server's pace. So a bit of anger there from Kyrgios. What's new, though? But he will now serve for this second set at 5-2. It's a second serve, and the backhand return from Tsitsipas is into the net. It is 15 love. So 3 points away from the second set. to take it into a decider. First set into the net from Kyrgios. Good second serve, and again, the backhand return from Tsitsipas is into the net. So we are at 30-love, 2 points away from the second set. And Kyrgios comes into the net after this. It's a serve and volley. And again, another backhand goes long from Stefanos Tsitsipas. And it is 3 set points for Nick Kyrgios. The world number 65 versus the second seed here, Tsitsipas. And he has 3 set points. First serve is out, though. Will be a second serve. Oh, it's a big second serve. And Nick Kyrgios takes the second set. It is 6-2. We are a set apiece. Stefanos Tsitsipas taking the first 7-5, but Kyrgios taking the second 6-2. And it's a little bit of a wry smile there from Tsitsipas. He sticks his tongue out as well. But it will be a deciding set. But Kyrgios takes that second one 6-2.
When I step out on the court getting furious, all the people come to see me cause they're curious. You'll be eating up these aces, I'm victorious. Don't be questioning my mind, it's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios.
So this third set could go either way, really. Tsitsipas with the first, Kyrgios with the second. How about your predictions? Who do you think is going to take this one in the third and final deciding set? So Kyrgios versus Tsitsipas, the world number 6, in a bit of trouble now. Took the first set, but double breakdown in that second set and saw Kyrgios take it 6-2. So we will be a deciding set. Looking over in Queens at the results, we have Van der Zandschulp up a set and with 2 break points as well on Grigor Dimitrov. We have Sasnovich up a set and a break on Petkovic. And we have Halep now up a break on Dart over in Birmingham. We've had loads of tennis going on today. Earlier today at this tournament in Halle, we saw Medvedev taking out David Goffin, Hubert Hurkacz beating Ugo Humbert, last year's champion, of course. We also had Carreño Busta beating Korda. Now we have this match, and following this one will be McDonald versus Auger-Aliassime. Excellent point there. Can you imagine being an umpire and finding out that Kyrgios is playing? Any umpire, when they find out they're on the docket for Kyrgios' match, is probably thinking, God, no. Why me? Yeah. So we will have Tsitsipas to serve to get us underway in the second set. Just under an hour and a half on the clock for these first 2 sets. It was a pretty fast first set. They flew through those first service games. So I'm not sure if one of them has gone off court here for a break. Okay, we have a prediction here from JC. Kyrgios in 3 sets. The last set will be 6-love. I think Kyrgios is going to hand out a bagel to Tsitsipas. Yeah, I think one of the players must have gone off court. I think both of them have, actually, because there seem to be no players sat in their benches. So if I have a look at tomorrow's order of play, we will also have the round of 16 matches going on here in Halle. So we will have first up Jera versus Khachanov. We'll then have Basilashvili versus Otter, Medvedev versus Ivashka to follow, and then finally we will have Griekspoor versus Bautista Agut. That's tomorrow's order of play here in Halle. We do still have that one match to come here after this, McDonald versus Auger-Aliassime. So the umpire's just called time, so we'll be back to get this third and final set underway. Tsitsipas to serve to take this one. Hi, JG. Yeah, so I was going to cover hopefully the Zachary-Saville match if it didn't overlap. But yeah, if that one, I can start it late because Sasnovich has just won that match, so they'll be on pretty soon. So yeah, if you want, I can, no problem, jump over onto that one as soon as this one is finished. Here we go. Stefanos Tsitsipas then to get this final set underway. And it's a good first serve down the tee. The return from Kyrgios just about gets over the net, but Tsitsipas is there. Oh, he just about put the brakes on in time to stop himself from touching the net as he came in to hit that one, but it is 15 love. So it's a good start here from Tsitsipas. 15 love. Oh, but that serve was miles wide. Be a second serve here. And the forehand return from Kyrgios goes long. It's 30 love. Kyrgios will be frustrated there. Should have gotten that ball back in play, you'd think. Tsitsipas here, 30 love. Will try and want to get a game on the board here. He was broken in his first service game in the second set by Kyrgios, so he'll want to try and get this one. And it's a great serve. It's an ace down the tee from Tsitsipas. He gives a little smile there. He likes that one. It's 40 love. 3 points here for the game. Could be a game to love. First serve just creeps over the net, but it goes wide. Second serve, Tsitsipas, 40 love. We have seen him lose a game from 40 love up, so let's see. Oh, but it's a nice angle there from Tsitsipas. He wrong foots Kyrgios, and it is indeed a game to love for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So Tsitsipas is up and running in this third set. So Tsitsipas gets the first game on the board here in the second set, avoids the fate of the previous set getting broken in his first service game, and Kyrgios will now serve at love 1. Final deciding set. And it's a big serve down the tee from Kyrgios. The return is in from Tsitsipas, and the backhand from Kyrgios. He hits it right back to Tsitsipas, and Tsitsipas gets it in. And that's a great steal from Tsitsipas there. That was gifted to him by Kyrgios. Kyrgios had the ball to just put it away, and he hit it right back to him. Tsitsipas with the first point on the serve of Kyrgios. It is love 15. How did Kyrgios lose that point? It's a good big first serve though from Kyrgios there, and Tsitsipas hits the ball long on the return, and it is 15 all. Kyrgios here, 15 all. And it's a big serve down the tee, backhand chip return from Tsitsipas, and it's a wild forehand from Nick Kyrgios. It goes wild, and Kyrgios is shouting once again. Not happy with himself. It is 15-30, maybe a little half chance here for Stefanos Tsitsipas. And big first serve, but the return is in from Tsitsipas. A forehand cross court from Kyrgios is big though, and Tsitsipas can't get the ball over the net. So it's 30 all. Kyrgios going to try and dig himself out of trouble here. Kyrgios serving at 30 all. Maybe a bit of a chance for Tsitsipas. Big first serve, chip, backhand return from Tsitsipas. Kyrgios goes to the drop shot, and it's a good drop shot. 40-30. Game point for Kyrgios. Tsitsipas can't get to that drop shot. It's a nice little drop shot, actually. And we have some fans. Lucy saying, Vamos, Stefanos. And MQR as well, going for Stefanos. Yeah, cross-court tennis. Steph is out-acing Kyrgios in this match. 6-15. And it's a shot into the net from Kyrgios there. So we are at deuce. Tsitsipas definitely with chance now in this game. Yeah, it's been a great day on serve for Stefanos. So deuce here, Kyrgios serving. Oh, it's an ace from Kyrgios. So an ace down the tee. Advantage Kyrgios. It's a 7th ace from Kyrgios, which is 219 kilometers an hour, that ace. And it's another great serve. Tsitsipas gets the chip return back in, but then the court is open for Kyrgios to put the forehand into the open court, and Kyrgios does get a game on the board in the second set. It is 1 game apiece. So we are 1 game apiece here, 1 set apiece. Kyrgios has had a few warnings already for, shouting obscenities and breaking a racket. Time violation for both men as well. Oh, Tsitsipas with a lovely angle there. Lovely forehand angle to get the first point in this game. 15-love for the Greek. Question here from Dude Extra. Who do you think will win the tournament? It's hard to say. I think Medvedev has been playing really well, surprisingly, really. I think I think he prefers grass to clay, but Medvedev has been doing really well. He knocked out Goffin today and pretty easily. Tsitsipas, you'd have to give the edge if he does come through this match. Also, I'd like to say Roger Aliassime, but I think he's going to have a tricky one today against McDonald. So it depends if he can come through. And in terms of the other side, Basilashvili was looking good. He defeated Rublev as well. But I think I'd probably have to get Daniil Medvedev in that final as my favorite. And probably the winner of this match as well. So it's 30-15 here for Stefanos Tsitsipas. And it's a great shot there from Tsitsipas. It is 40-15. Cross-court tennis. And remember, one time Kyrgios hit an ace on a second serve, match point down. This guy has no fear. That is the thing about his serving is he's not afraid to go for that second serve. He'll just hit 2 first serves. And it doesn't matter whether it's, 40-love up or match point down. But Stefanos has been out-serving Kyrgios in this match. It's been a good serving performance from both men. But Tsitsipas with the edge here. And he does take that game. 2-1. We are on serve. Tsitsipas takes the game. Can't say Steph has raised his level since the second set. Yeah, he did have a bit of a dip there in the second set. A few unforced errors coming in. And yeah, I don't think particularly Kyrgios, he may have raised his level a little bit. I think he was angry at losing that first set. And I think he just took his anger out on some of those points there to get some in the second set. But Tsitsipas is looking good again in this third. Thanks, JC, for joining us. I appreciate the nice words, and hopefully I'll see you again on some of this other streams. Hope you're all enjoying the commentary. If you do, please give the video a like. Don't forget to give the like button a whack and to give us a subscribe as well. So we have Queens Van de Zandschulp is just a game away from the match. He's up a set and a break on Grigor Dimitrov. We also have just had Sasnovich coming through her match against Petkovic. So Sakari and Saville will be coming on court very soon. Hopefully I'll be able to cover the second half of that match for you. We've got Halep also taking first set against Harriet Dart over in Birmingham. Oh, great point here from Cross Court Tennis. Hurkacz is a big threat in the tournament. Yeah, I sort of counted Hurkacz out a little bit, and then I noticed that he beat Hugo Humbert earlier today. So, yeah, taking out the defending champion is no easy feat, so he could be a little bit of a danger, yeah. It's a good first serve here, though, from Kyrgios, serving at 1-2. 15 love. Question here, should we expect something from Shapovalov on Wimbledon? It's hard to tell because obviously he got that semi-final last year. He did really well on the grass last year, beating Andy Murray, of course. This year, however, he's having a pretty bad season. He's just lost in Queens to Tommy Paul, lost first round of Roland Garros as well. So it's really hard to predict. Again, we know he can do well on the grass like he did last year, but if his form this season is anything to go by, then probably not. Thanks, Cross Court Tennis. Yeah, we're up 60, 62, 64 likes now, so let's try to get to 100. It's a quick service game here from Nick Kyrgios. It's 40 love. Yeah, a lot of pace on that shot from Kyrgios. First serve here into the net, though. Second serve from Kyrgios is good. It's backhand chip return from Tsitsipas hits the net, and it is a game to love for Nick Kyrgios. Question, what are your thoughts on Dominic Thiem? I think it's heartbreaking what's happening with Dominic Thiem. I'm a big fan of Thiem. I was really rooting for him in that US Open final that he won, and it's really hard to see him struggling so much with injury, especially on the trying to come back on the clay, which is a surface that he loves. Being a finalist at Roland Garros twice. I really hope he can get back to, some level of where he was before, because I think he's such a great player to watch, especially with that backhand. Hopefully, fingers crossed, his injury woes will start to get better for him. So we've got a first point on the Tsitsipas serve does go to Nick Kyrgios here. It's a bit of a dodgy bounce for Tsitsipas at the back of the court. We have some money here on Nick really hitting back. And you are saying, come on, Stefanos. Yeah, it's hard to see which way this one is going to go. Oh, it's a second serve ace from Stefanos Tsitsipas. Lovely serve out wide there. And it is 15 all. Cross-court tennis saying Hurkacz forehand has massively improved since last year, hoping he goes far here and once again at Wimbledon. Yeah, it has actually, that forehand from Hurkacz. And we remember from Wimbledon last year, Hurkacz is the guy who did bagel Roger Federer in that final set. So we know he can be good on grass. Like dude actually saying Hurkacz is the modern Berdych, solid player, almost complete, but can play every surface but struggles against the top 10. That's a good comparison, actually. I quite like that. Hurkacz is like a modern day Berdych. Yeah, it's true. He's consistent and he gets far and he wins the matches he's supposed to, but he can't really, struggle against those that are just above him. Well, it is 30 all on the serve. Tsitsipas. The crowd are getting into this now. It's a bit of a chance for Kyrgios. See if Tsitsipas can get a hold here. Oh, he goes to the serve down the tee, but it's wide. It'll be a second serve for Tsitsipas at 30 all. Oh, it's a double fault from Tsitsipas. It's long. And all of a sudden, it's a break point for Kyrgios. The Tsitsipas' serving is just dropped off a little bit. The first serve percentage has dropped in this third set just a little bit. And it's a break point now for Nick Kyrgios in this final set. 30-40 on the serve of Stefanos Tsitsipas. Can Kyrgios capitalize on this? And it's a nice serve from Tsitsipas. The forehand chip return from Kyrgios is in, though, and we are forehand to forehand. It's a forehand cross-court from Kyrgios, cross-court from Tsitsipas. And Tsitsipas with a lovely forehand angle, but Kyrgios digs it out. Tsitsipas into the net for the drop volley, and that's a brilliant shot from Tsitsipas to save the break point. Lovely, lovely little play at the net there from the Greek, and it is at deuce. Question here from Alex: what is my best tennis shot? I would have to say my backhand. I have because I was a squash player. I have a one-handed backhand. My double-handed backhand is non-existent. It's awful. But my one-handed backhand, that's my shot, my go-to. Love a backhand cross court. I think that's probably my favorite shot to play. Oh, but Tsitsipas here has just pushed the ball wide, and he gives Kyrgios another break point. Yeah, I agree with you there. It is a bit of a shaky game here from Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas sort of falls to his knees there, not believing he pushed that wide. Got Apostolos Tsitsipas in the crowd there as well, looking a bit nervous. Steph's father and coach. Break point number 2 for Nick Kyrgios. Tsitsipas again goes to that serve down the tee. He's gone to that so many times in this match. It was really effective for him in that first set. Second serve on a break point. Oh, it's a brave serve. It's good though. And a backhand cross court from Kyrgios. We back it down the line from Tsitsipas. Forehand from Kyrgios. Oh, it's a bullet of a forehand cross court from Stefanos Tsitsipas. He saves the break point once again, and we are back at deuce. That was a great way to save it. And as you just pointed out there, Botic van der Zandschulp has just taken his match against Grigor Dimitrov 7-6, 6-3 over in Queens. That's a great win for him. Dimitrov obviously loves the grass. And up next, there will be Jack Draper versus Emil Ruusuvuori coming on next over there at Queens. So we are at deuce. Saved a couple of break points, has Tsitsipas. That's a great first serve, and the backhand return from Kyrgios is wide, so it will be advantage to the Greek. Question: do you think Kyrgios can go the distance if he gets out of this match? I think he could. I think if he does come through this one, especially against the likes of someone the caliber of Tsitsipas, that'll give him confidence. Not that he needs confidence, to be honest. It is Nick Kyrgios, but I do think he could. I probably wouldn't pick him to win the title. I think someone like maybe Medvedev or even Hurkacz, or maybe even Auger-Aliassime could stop him. But I wouldn't bet. I would say he'd have a chance, definitely. So Tsitsipas does get out of that bit of a hole, saved a few break points, but he does indeed get the game. It is 3-2 for Stefanos Tsitsipas. We are still on serve. He avoids the break, and I think that deserves the Tsitsipas button. So we are at the change of ends now. Tsitsipas saving the break points. We are on serve. It is 3-2. We have split the first 2 sets, 7-5. Tsitsipas in the first, 6-2 to Kyrgios in the second. Coming here from Cross Court Tennis, Peniston playing Cerundolo tomorrow at Queens. That'll be a really interesting match. Peniston, obviously, the young Brit who took out Casper Ruud, the top seed yesterday. And Francisco Cerundolo is, I think he's a great player to watch. He's just cracked the top 50 this year, the Argentinian. Of course, there are 2 Cerundolo brothers. There's Juan Manuel and Francisco, but I believe it is Francisco who's playing. And yeah, he's a really exciting young player. So I think that's going to be a really good match. But it is a good chance there for Peniston. Yeah, we know we can play and beat the best, like Ruud. So it's a great story for him. And he could do well, yeah. Brits are doing quite well in Queens, actually. Jack Draper is in action again. He'll be next up on that main court in Queens. So we have Nick Kyrgios serving here at 2-3. All square in this third set on serve. And we have the backhand return from Tsitsipas flying past the baseline, and it is 15-love. Tsitsipas a bit frustrated with himself there. Kyrgios serving 15 love. It's a good first serve, but Tsitsipas gets the backhand return in play. And then the forehand from Kyrgios is a bit wild, and it flies just wide. And it's 15-0. Cross-court tennis. That's an impressive prediction to predict Pennison to make the semis. Yeah, that is impressive. But I think, if he played the way he played against Ruud, against anybody else, then, he's got as good a chance as anyone. Oh, and it's a double fault for Nick Kyrgios, and he's not happy with that. It is 15-30. Little opening here on the serve of Kyrgios for Stefanos Tsitsipas. Big first serve there. Tsitsipas gets the return in play and now goes for the forehand shot. Kyrgios is there at the net, though, for the volley and just stops the ball dead with that drop shot. 30-all. It's a nice little net play there from Kyrgios. Just took all the air off the ball and it stopped dead. 30-all. Still a chance for Tsitsipas here. Good first serve. A backhand return from Tsitsipas is good. Forehand cross-court from Kyrgios. Oh, forehand is into the net from Kyrgios there, and it is a break point for Stefanos Tsitsipas. It was a nice little slice there from Tsitsipas. And it is break point. Kyrgios playing very fast here. He's serving. Oh, it's a great serve from Kyrgios to save the break point. Tsitsipas barely gets a racket on it, and it's at deuce very, very quickly. 224 kilometers an hour out wide for Nick Kyrgios. That's a huge serve. That's another big one at deuce, but Tsitsipas gets the return in play, and we're now forehand to forehand cross court. It's a looping forehand from Kyrgios. And then a wild backhand from Kyrgios that goes wide, and it's another break point for Stefanos Tsitsipas. Yeah, Kyrgios speed serving him. He's playing really, really fast between his points, which is, it's weird because he got that time violation earlier for not playing to Tsitsipas's service speed. But yeah, he is currently speed serving him. Oh, and that's a good forehand from Kyrgios there. And he saves yet another break point. We're back at deuce. This could be an important hold for Kyrgios in the context of this match. So serving at deuce. And it is a big serve down the tee. The backhand return from Tsitsipas is long. And we are now advantage to Kyrgios. Saved 2 break points. Now has a game point of his own. Point for 3-all. And it's a let on the first serve. Gone out wide there. Still Tsitsipas with 17 aces to just 7 of Nick Kyrgios, which is an unexpected stat. Oh, Tsitsipas with a slip there on the return of serve. He seems to be okay. Nick Kyrgios, they're just checking that he is okay. Yeah, Tsitsipas putting his hand up, saying he's fine. Yeah, just a little slip on the grass there as he tried to return that serve, but the ball was into the net, and so it is the game for Kyrgios. 3 games all. We'll have Tsitsipas serving. Again, this could go either way here. Lovely serve there from Stefanos Tsitsipas down the tee. That's been his go-to serve. 213 kilometers an hour there, Tsitsipas. 15 love. Yeah, good point there, Carton. Though Nick has less aces, he's got more unreturnable serves. Steph has been doing good to get a racket on. Yeah, Stefanos has been doing well with his returns, even those that he can't get back. He is getting a racket on a lot of those serves from Kyrgios. So we have a 400 return of serve from Kyrgios. We are backhand down the line from Tsitsipas. Is lovely, lovely backhand down the line from Tsitsipas there. Tight to the line, great length, 30 love. That beautiful one-handed backhand. Yeah, took the ball on the rise there. Lovely shot. First serve clips the top of the net, though, so it will be a second serve. And it's a forehand cross-court return from Kyrgios. And Kyrgios goes for the big forehand down the line, but it's wild, and it's 40-love. Could it be a game to love for Tsitsipas? That would be exactly what he would want here. A nice game to love after putting a lot of pressure on the Kyrgios serve in the previous game. Okay, he didn't take the break points, but a nice game to love here would be a great step forward for the Greek. And it's a good serve. The return is in play, but it is a shank from Nick Kyrgios that just about almost landed in, but just about out. So Tsitsipas does get a game to love. And that was a really good service game there from Tsitsipas, so I feel like it deserves a Tsitsipas button. So still nothing to separate these two. We are a set apiece and on serve in the final set. It's a great service game there from Stefanos Tsitsipas. Over in Queens, Jack Draper and Emil Razzavori are just about to get underway. They've arrived on court. We've also got Maria Sakkari and Daria Saville, who are just gotten underway, one game apiece over in Berlin. And we have Halep over in Birmingham serving for the match against Harriet Dart. The match to come in Halle after this one will be Mackenzie McDonald versus Felix Auger-Aliassime. That will be the last match of the day here in Halle. So many great matches on today. It's always difficult to know where to look. Especially, I love the grass court season. We had the wild cards announced for Wimbledon yesterday, with Serena Williams being given a wild card into the singles, which is really exciting news for all of us. And also announced that she will be partnering with Ons Jabeur to play doubles in Eastbourne next week, which is just the best tennis pairing ever. Well, Murray Serena was pretty great as well, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that. So we've had 4 break points between them in this third set, but no breaks of serve as of yet. Kyrgios serving down 3-4, and it's a let on the first serve. It was good first serve, but just clipped the top of the net. So another first serve from Kyrgios. It's good, but Tsitsipas return just about goes wide. It's a forehand cross-court return, and it's 15-love. Tsitsipas bouncing up and down here, trying to get some energy. Kyrgios with the first serve into the net. Nice to have you back, MJ. Yeah, it's another great match. We had a good one I commentated on this morning with Andreescu and Pliskova. Pliskova coming through that in a final set tiebreak was a great one. So it's another really good 3-setter here. But it is 30-love for Kyrgios. Good point there, Carlton. Yeah, you missed the crazy from Nick. Nick's been, a bit of everything from Nick. Racket smashing, swearing, sarcastic thumbs up, complaining to the supervisor. Pretty much everything. And it's an ace there from Nick Kyrgios, so it is 40-love. Could be another game to love here. Follow up on Tsitsipas' previous game to love. Oh, the serve was just long there. And the backhand return from Tsitsipas is good. It's a behind-the-back shot from Kyrgios. And Tsitsipas' ball goes wide. That was a ridiculous shot. Kyrgios literally reaches behind his back to hit a flicked forehand shot. And that's insane. I've not seen a shot like that before, but it is a game to love for Nick Kyrgios. Well, that was a crazy shot, but it is a game to love, and it's 4 games apiece in the second set. This could go, this third and deciding set, it could go either way. Tsitsipas here serving. Of course, whoever takes this next game will be just a game away. And there's a bit of a loose forehand there from Stefanos. Tsitsipas goes wide, and it's love 15. And Kyrgios again is muttering about something. Don't know what he's unhappy with. Tsitsipas giving the first point away to Kyrgios. It's a good first serve there from Tsitsipas. Oh, the return from Kyrgios just clears the net, and then Tsitsipas comes in for the overhead smash. He did really well there. That return of serve from Kyrgios only just got over the net, and Tsitsipas managed to get it back in play. And great smash then. 15-all. MJ, maybe a tiebreak. Looks like it could be going to a tiebreak. I wonder who would have the edge in a tiebreak. You'd probably give it to Tsitsipas, but you never know with Nick Kyrgios. It's a nice return of serve from Kyrgios. Backhand, it's looping, but it's in from Tsitsipas. And we're now, but that second backhand shot there was just long, and it's 15-30. Half a chance here. Yeah, it looked like it was heading for a tiebreak in that first set, but Tsitsipas just about took it as he broke the serve of Kyrgios right at the end. Kyrgios might be looking to break here at 15-30 on the Tsitsipas serve. Tsitsipas with the big serve down the tee, but the return is good from Kyrgios. We have a forehand from Tsitsipas, and Kyrgios gets that forehand cross court, and Tsitsipas's response is into the net, and it is a break point for the Aussie. It is 15-40 on the serve of Tsitsipas. If Kyrgios breaks here, he will get a chance to serve for the match. So it's 2 break points for Stefanos to save here. There's some support from Lucy for Stefanos. Vamos, Stefanos. Yeah, 2 break points here to save. And the first serve is for fault, so it will be a second serve as well. Second serve to look at and 2 break points. That's a good second serve. The backhand return is good from Kyrgios. And we're now, it's a big forehand from Kyrgios. The backhand from Tsitsipas. And Kyrgios with a big forehand again. And it's Kyrgios who gets the break. The first break of this third and deciding set is a big forehand. And the first break is Nick Kyrgios's. And in just a few minutes' time, Kyrgios will serve for the match at 5-4 in this third set.
When I step out on the court getting furious, all the people come to see me cause they're curious. You'll be eating up these aces, I'm victorious. Don't be questioning my mind, it's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios. It's King Kyrgios.
So Kyrgios is about to come out and serve for the match. Just over 2 hours on the clock. 2 sets apiece and 5-4 with the break. The only break of this deciding set belongs to Nick Kyrgios. So we are at the business end of this match now. How is it going to go? So here we go. We've got Sweet Caroline playing in Halle. The crowd are loving it. I'm pretty sure they've been loving this match. It's been a really good one here. But Kyrgios will serve for it at 5-4. Second set, 38 minutes. Third set has been 38 minutes. Tsitsipas will do what he can here to try and get into the serve of Kyrgios. He has had a few chances in this set, hasn't taken them, but he's managed to get into the service games, get a few break points. It's a good first serve from Kyrgios, though, and Tsitsipas hits the ball long. Good start, 15-love for Kyrgios, just 3 points away from the match. Kyrgios serving at 15 love, 3 points away. Again, it's a good serve, and he comes into the net for the serve and volley, but Tsitsipas is there. Kyrgios, though, is at the net and manages to get the volley away. Backhand volley, and it is 30 love. 2 points away now from the match. And serving again quickly in between points here. First serve from Kyrgios. It's a good first serve, but the return from Tsitsipas is good. Kyrgios is at the net, though. He gets the volley, and Tsitsipas's backhand goes long. And now it is 3 match points from Kyrgios. Kyrgios is trying to get the crowd going now. He's lifting his arms up. It is 40 love to Nick Kyrgios. 3 match points for the Aussie.
Match point.
It's an ace down the tee for Nick Kyrgios to save it, to take the match. It's a game to love, and it is the match. It is 2 sets to 1 for Nick Kyrgios. Steph took the first 7-5, but Kyrgios came back to take the second 2, 6-2, 6-4. It's really unfortunate there for Tsitsipas. He really was the better player in that first set, and then he just didn't take his chances. It was a great day on serve for Stefanos Tsitsipas, but it is Kyrgios who comes through in the end, and the second seed, Stefanos Tsitsipas, is taken out by the wild card, Nick Kyrgios. Thank you to everybody for watching on this stream. It is Nick who's taken the win here. I might try and get over on the Sakkari-Saville match if I can cover the second half of that for you guys. But thank you very much for watching. It's been great chatting with you guys as always, and I hope to see you on the next stream very, very soon. Take care, everyone.